Bonjour. Au cours des derniers mois, nous avons participé à un dialogue national sans précédent sur l'économie, la politique et l'avenir même de notre pays. Les Canadiens s'inquiètent des conséquences humaines d'une crise économique qui n'arrive qu'une fois dans une génération. Ils sont inquiets non seulement pour eux-mêmes, mais aussi pour leurs voisins, leurs collègues et leurs amis. Face à cette crise, nous avons un gouvernement qui a mal géré les finances publiques pendant les 2 dernières années. Les conservateurs ont choisi des dépenses douteuses et une politique fiscale irresponsable plutôt que la prudence et la rigueur budgétaire. Ils ont mené le Canada à un déficit bien avant que nous soyons en récession. Et ce faisant, ils ont réduit les moyens dont le gouvernement disposait pour agir en faveur de l'intérêt national en temps de crise. For that failure, the failure to plan and act as a government, we hold them responsible. We hold them responsible for telling us that there would be no recession, while the rest of the world was already taking action and while Canadians were losing their jobs. We hold them responsible for their disastrous fall economic statement with its fanciful forecast of a surplus and its arrogant and divisive partisanship. We hold them responsible for proroguing Parliament at a time when Canadians wanted their Parliament to work. This is a record of reckless, arrogant, and short-sighted government. Canadians will long remember this sorry episode because they didn't actually enjoy the political theater. They were too busy worrying about the nest egg they saved up for their entire working lives, only to see it cut in half overnight. They were too busy worrying about how they'd pay for their kids' education or how they'd put food on the table for their families. And too many of them, and I saw this from coast to coast to coast, were feeling that fear in your guts that happens when you see something happen to your neighbor and you fear it's going to happen to you. They didn't find the spectacle in Ottawa all that interesting. They wanted action, and they haven't seen any from this government. Des milliers d'emplois ont été perdus depuis que le Premier ministre a suspendu les travaux parlementaires le mois dernier. Nous sommes aujourd'hui à la fin du mois de janvier. Dire qu'il aurait fallu agir avant, c'est bien peu dire. Yesterday's budget is a flawed document. It doesn't go far enough to protect Canadians who have lost or will lose their jobs. It extends EI benefits, but it fails to extend EI eligibility. It opens the door for a tax on pay equity for women. It provides no new childcare spaces. It does not seize on the wealth of opportunities in the green economy, and it imposes unilateral changes to equalization, which are already awakening controversy in Quebec and Newfoundland. It breaks promises to those provinces that were made only 2 years ago. It attaches strings to infrastructure dollars that may delay projects and actually delay job creation. It promises to sell government assets for cash, probably at bargain basement prices, without saying which assets and for how much. And it lacks a credible plan for getting us out of the $85 billion hole the government will dig us into over the next 5 years. But here is the point. The budget also contains important concessions, concessions forced on Stephen Harper by the determined action of a united opposition. Affordable housing, skills development, expansions of the working income tax benefit and the child tax benefit, which will prevent some Canadians from going into poverty. Measures, in addition, to make credit available to business, investments in colleges and universities, the incubators of the jobs of tomorrow. These measures are only in this budget because the opposition parties did their job. They're in this budget because the system worked, because the Liberal Party in particular remained resolved to hold Mr. Harper to account. and we will not abandon that resolve now. If the stimulus contained in this budget has any hope of helping Canadians, it actually has to reach them. But this is a government more inclined to make commitments than to keep them. And so this afternoon, I will move to amend the budget motion to include new measures to ensure the government is held accountable for its promises. We are putting this government on probation. Accountability is something that Stephen Harper always says is important, and I agree with him. But this budget didn't include a single word about accountability. We will require reports to Parliament on the budget's implementation and its cost, one in March, one in June, one in December. Each of these reports, notice this, each of these reports will be an opportunity to withdraw our confidence should the government fail Canadians. We will vigilantly monitor its effects on our economy and every region of our country. We will be watching like hawks to make sure that the investments Canadians need actually reach them. And should Mr. Harper fail to satisfy the expectations of Canadians, we will be ready to defeat him. Les Canadiens ne veulent pas de nouvelles élections. Ils ont assez des jeux politiques. Ils ont attendu trop longtemps des mesures économiques pour que nous les laissions tomber maintenant en raison d'intérêts partisans. Il ne doit faire aucun doute que si nous agissons de manière responsable, nous sortirons de cette crise plus fort qu'avant, plus fort que jamais. Nous, les Canadiens, savons surmonter des défis ensemble. Nous avons cela dans le sang. Nous sommes prêts à agir dans l'intérêt du pays, comme l'exige la gravité de la présente crise économique. J'espère que M. Harper est disposé à en faire autant. Je vous remercie.